we do have paint now. Look. Oh, we can totally paint. What? Well, it has to be purple, doesn't it? Greetings and welcome back to More Sheltered. Quickly, we need to accept the transmission before we do anything else. This is Octopi. We found a school out in the wastelands. Sure, Octopi, check it out. Whilst I continue to say hello, greetings and welcome. The survival adventures of Sheltered continue and become ever more frantic as we have 2 expeditions on the go at once right now. I mean, we call them expeditions. One is a proper expedition of Jonas and Laura, the parental units of this particular family, who are just on their way back, actually, from a pretty long expedition to a nearby town. And whilst they were out, Octopi and Andy have gone out for another trip around the wasteland. You know, generally messing around and stuff. Oh, look at this. Hinges. We like hinges, we like wool, but apparently we don't like it enough to have a slot open for it. And nothing else is going to go, so we'll just confirm that. But, you know, it was worth it to stop there for the hinge. What we're looking for... Sorry, Walter, I didn't mean to get you up. You can go and sleep. Go and sleep. Go on, go and sleep. Accept the transmission. Sure, search the wasteland for the florist, even. Search the florist in the wasteland. Another transmission. Octopi, the school has some useful stuff. What does the school have? Paint. We're going to paint the shelter. This is like, I think, our short-term primary plan. We're going to take the screwdriver as well. And the teddy. I mean, they are out playing. They've got to bring a teddy back with them, surely. We'll bring the junk as well, because they're kids and they don't know any better. Yeah, so, what was I going to say? Yeah, basically, our short-term plans are, 1, paint the shelter so that it doesn't look like the complete dive that you see here right now, and 2, upgrade the workbench, which we need lots of stuff for. What is there in the florist? We need hinges and something else I've forgotten, possibly rope. We've got hinges and rope coming back with the expedition. I don't think enough, but it's going to put us a lot closer. What is there in this florist? There is nothing of any use in the florist, so just leave the florist. Whose idea was it to visit a florist anyway? Water storage is looking really strong here, look. Water storage of 90 in the water butts. It's absolutely fine. Laura, we found a small house out in the wasteland. Sure, Laura, check out the house on your way back. Let's take a look at the map. So these are our 2 expeditions that are on the go at the moment. We've got Laura and Jonas, who've been all the way up here to this town, explored many, many fine locations, found many, many fine things, and are returning to base with their gas masks and satchels packed full of awesome loot. Andy and Octopi, on the other hand, just kind of like went off for a little jaunt around. It's not the most efficient trip, really, but water isn't much of an issue, so it doesn't really matter. What is probably going to be problematic is the fact that they have only 1 gas mask between them, well, we'll see what effect that has when they get back, if any. Maybe they'll be fine. I mean, you know, kids are quite robust, aren't they? Hi, this is Andy. We found a church out in the wastelands. Should we check it out? Yes, indeed. Play in the church to your heart's content. That's what I say. What else is going on here? We have people sleeping and people repairing. Not a lot, really. I mean, whilst like, you know, a lot is going on in the wasteland, in the actual shelter, we've just got our 2 weird newbie types who are actually... Look, Walter's nearly loyal enough to go and do stuff for us. Laura to base. We found something in the small house. Have you found anything I can take? I can take that, and I can take the pipe, and I can take the paint. Look at that, 5 tins of paint. Wow. I can also take 1 of the food rations, and I think that's it. Wow, if I'd actually taken duct tape, we found so much of this stuff, but I never actually put it in my inventory, so we'll leave it all behind. Stuff of the gods it is, and it shall remain. So, Janet, how are you getting on? You're like halfway loyal as well. You're doing pretty well. Just going to finish repairing that, and eventually I'll let you go and sleep. Radio transmission coming in. What have you found? Oh, Octopi to base. There's somebody in this church. It looks like they want to talk. Alright, let's get involved. We don't want the kids handling this on their own. They could do anything. There he is. Standing there. Hey, buddy! Don't you walk on by. Wow. Weirdo. Whoa, easy there. I'm looking for a place to crash. I don't suppose you've got a spare bed going? No, Frank. No. We don't. Now, we're just kids. Leave us alone. Why are you even stopping and talking to us? You'll regret you didn't let me into your group. You'll see. I added the maniacal laugh myself there. It's not in the, it's not on the dialogue box. So whether he actually laughed like a maniac or not, I shall have to leave up to your better judgment. Recruitment resolved. Back in the shelter. What's actually in the church? That's perhaps more important. We'll take a light bulb. We'll take a pipe. We'll take that, and we'll also take the sand. So put one of the broken TVs back, but keep the other one. In fact, no, look, I mean, broken TV's got to be better than a broken radio, right? Generator, 93% integrity, which is fine. 0.5 fuel, it's fine. It doesn't need any attention right now. Janet is just finishing her fixing job on the hobo stove, actually. Look, funnily enough. And when she's finished with that, she's going to go and take a nice nap, a nice well-earned nap, because she has been fixing all of the stuff here in the shelter. The moon is rising as well there. It is night. Should we speed up time? Look, nothing much seems to be happening. Let's speed up time. Oh, look! Janet and, not Janet, Laura and Jonas are back from their mighty expedition with all of their cool loots, only to discover, of course, that once again their kids have wandered off. Let's just dump everything in the shelter storage. Lots of good stuff. Look at all the fuel we've got. We've got plenty of stuff. Plenty of things. Are you sure? Yes, I am quite sure. Good work, guys. You've done well. Jonas, you are feeling okay? You're not still bleeding? Because at one point you were definitely bleeding. Let's accept the transmission from the kids, who are now out in the middle of the night whilst it's raining in a radioactive wasteland. It's, I mean, it's what it is, and they are perfectly happy with the situation. In fact, they're kind of like the kids in some old story about, two kids going off into a wasteland. I don't know why that's an old story. Anyway, let's just move on, shall we? Hello, Octopi here. We've stumbled across a small farm. Sure, search the farm. Was that the one that we didn't know about? It is. Rather disappointingly, it's just a farm. I suppose it is isolated on its own, so that was always quite likely to be what it was. Baymouth and Broadworth are the two towns. Oh, and Port Loft. So we can explore this town. We've still got a large town there. We've still got a few places in this town we've not hit up. But there is a small hardware store here. I suppose these are all small towns. This looks like the biggest town in the area. So maybe they'll have the biggest and the best stuff there as well. The biggest, the coolest, the finest, and possibly the fettlest. We've got something in our journal. Where have we got to before? Day 7. It's hard living like we do. That person came to see us today. The best source of stress relief is to read books. We've done that. Walter, yeah, we did him. Janet, we've done her. Day 15. I've never hurt anyone in my life. Oh, of course. The journal entry from Jonas and Laura after their bullying incident on the road. I've never hurt anyone in my life, let alone kill someone. I feel so bad. But what choice did we have? I mean, other than to try and bully them in the first place and then repeatedly try and steal from them. I hope we never have to do that again. We probably aren't. I did feel kind of bad about engaging in such activities, but I'm sure we will meet hostile people again in the future, so being prepared is no bad thing. We have another incoming transmission from the kids. We'll approach the strangers in the farm. We might be able to trade with them after all. Small farm. Hey there, stranger lady. Caroline? You out here on your own? Killing cows and taking wheels off of tractors? Maybe you've got something to trade. You got anything you want to sell? I really hate these awkward little moments. Oh. Are you calling us little? Is that some kind of, slight on the fact that we're kids? I think it might be. Accept the transmission. Examine the items. You can also bring paint home. Oh, shotgun shells. Yeah. Yeah, kids love shotgun shells. Obviously, they shouldn't be playing with shotgun shells. That's very bad. Put that back and take the wiring, because we want the wiring. I'm not sure if we really need the sand. all the water or anything like that, so that's probably the best set. We are done transferring items. We've got people asleep here. How much... is it worth making another bed, do you think? So that everyone can sleep when they need to. Wood, nails, wool, and springs. We've got enough to do it, but wood, nail, wool, and spring. Wood, nail... we don't actually need any of those things to upgrade the crafting station, so let's do it. Walter, why don't you... look, he's now loyal! He has become loyal. We can send him out on expeditions and things. And because he's loyal, we're going to reward him with his own bed. I mean, it's not actually going to be his bed. He won't get to stay in it exclusively. But we will put it over here, look, away from the other two beds and near the cooker. For people who want to sleep near the cooker. Which, you know, is good if you, like, get the munchies late at night and you want to just get up and quickly run to the freezer, grab yourself a hunk of deer meat, throw it in the cooker, and then eat it, all without getting more than probably about 5 feet from your bed. Who wouldn't want that? I think everybody clearly would find that highly desirable. Day 16 has dawned, and all is well. Should we see about giving Janet something to do as well? She's really, really tired. She can actually sleep in the bed now that Walter's made it. Look, Walter's been working hard, busy, like, creating this bed, which he's been rewarded with for becoming loyal, and then what happens? The minute it's completed, Janet just, like, barges past him and's like, no, I'm sleeping there, get out of the way. And poor old Walter here, look, he's like, oh, it looks like we've got systems to upgrade parts or something. Whatever it was that he said. He was trying to be helpful, but I didn't find it so. Let's add some fuel to the Jenny, Walter. Keep this place lit and looking fine. Is there anything else that we can craft? Can't make another satchel. We don't quite have enough nylon, alas. A toy box? We could make a toy box, look, for the kids. Do they really need a toy box, though? Look, it takes up hinges. We can't do it. A bookshelf would be cool, but we don't have enough nails. Oh, we do have paint now. Look. Oh, we can totally paint. What? Well, it has to be purple, doesn't it? It has to be the purple shelter. Should we have both floors be purple or just the top floor? We'll start with just the top floor and we'll paint here because, look, it desperately needs to have this graffiti coming up. It's just not nice coming home to a load of graffiti like that. Andy here, we've stumbled across a small house. Sure, search the small house. There's somebody at the door. Hello, Dave. You're my wife now. That's not what actually she's saying. She's saying, greetings, I'm looking for sanctuary. Do you grant such things? Able-bodied and hard-working. Actually, you are pretty able-bodied. A strength of 6, dex of 6, intelligence of 4, is that charisma of 4, and a perception of 5. Michelle's actually looking pretty handy. I think we can hack... now that Walter, we can send Walter out on his own, if necessary, to kind of explore. So maybe we should indeed get Michelle here. Alright, Michelle, you know what? In you come. Come join the party. Janet will like having you around as a fellow strange lady that you are. Just come straight in. What are your needs right now? Why don't you have a drink of water and then have a shower? I bet you've not taken a shower since the apocalypse, have you? You're probably enormously stinky. Accept the transmission from the kids. Examine the items. What have you got that we might want? What? Possibly take the sand? Just because, you know, we've already got some sand, so it's sort of efficient. The books would be nice, but we can't take them. We don't need anything else. That'll do. They want to bring the toy back. Even though we don't have... In fact, you know what? They're going to be sensible here. Like, you know, Octopi has said to Andy, look, do we really need toys? We're kind of, you know, we're like grown-up kids. You know, we could take the toy, or we could take this incredibly exciting circuit breaker, or this incredibly exciting circuit board. Either of which are bound to be incredibly useful. Let's take the circuit breaker, because we don't have any of those at the moment. Confirm. Good work, boys. Good work. Michelle, the new girl, is going to take a shower. I'm sure she'll enjoy that. Walter here is busy painting the shelter. Laura, she actually wants to take a shower. Laura, she actually wants to take a shower, but the new girl is in the shower. Look at that. She's going to kick her out. Michelle, look, you've only just come into this shelter. You're like the new girl. You need to learn your place. And your place is, of course, painting the shelter purple. There we go. Off you go, Michelle. Cancel the shower. Laura, you can jump in the shower. There we go. That's looking good. That's looking better than good. That is looking dangerous. Walter, I think we might actually want to send you out on your expedition fairly soon, or at least when the kids get back, we will certainly want to. Can we upgrade this yet? Wiring hinges plastic. No, we cannot. Upgrade, we need like 4 hinges and 4 rope. That's quite a bit to find. That is quite a bit to find. In that case, Walter, can you... There is more paint, so we'll just continue the paint work. We'll just continue painting the shelter. Purple is the finest Fallout shelter colour that there is, and you know, it'll just make it, it'll brighten it all up. People will feel much nicer coming home to a nicely painted purple shelter. After all, let's accept the transmission from the kids. Sure, search the small house. Michelle is looking a little bit tired, so why don't you go and have a sleep? Start working on that loyalty. Janet is also getting somewhat more loyal, which is good. Should we do a bit of fixing? Why don't you fix these 2 things, Janet? Jonas is desperate for the loot, so he's going to go and do his business. What have you found in the small house? Wool. Oh, I'd love the wool. Take the sand. Oh, I must take the nylon. I must take the nylon. Let's put the lens back. We'll take the nylon instead of the lens. Yeah. Confirm. Confirm! I think the cat is hungry. Really? Octopi, are you hungry? You haven't said anything about being hungry. And nobody's cleaned the shelter for ages. So let's get on that, shall we? Clean. Oh, Octopi is indeed hungry. He is very much so hungry. Alright, Walter, once you've finished painting, feed the cat. Feed the cat until it is fully fed and feeling feline fine. Oh, yeah, that's good, isn't it? We've got 1 tool here at the workbench. Kids. Oh, more strangers. Alright, approach the strangers. We'll deal with this. One last issue. Hello there. Don't panic. See, I'll move slow. Confirm. Would you like to trade anything, Anna? We have supplies. Anything you need. Ah, screw it. Screw it! And screw you too! Just gut me when you're done and take that too. What? What? Crazy lady. I'd quite like your leather, but what am I prepared to give up for it? Maybe the circuit breaker. Yeah, let's do it. Circuit breaker. We need the paint to continue painting the shelter, so take the circuit breaker. Fine. It's a slightly better deal for you, but it's all good. I just did you a solid there. Remember that, okay? Anna, I think I did you a solid. I think you'll find that circuit breaker infinitely more useful than this piece of flexible protective leather that you have handed to us. Trade resolved. Good stuff, guys. Where are you? Alright, you're going to go up to the small farm, and then you're going to head back to the shelter. So you carry on with that. Rain on the surface, filling up the water butts, which is excellent. Janet, what do you need, Janet? You might as well take some drink of water whilst you're at it, and then maybe use the toilet whilst it's raining. Kids, yep, check out the petrol station. Michelle, you really don't need anything, do you? You don't need much of anything at all. You just stand there then for the time being. Laura is looking fine as well. Jonas is looking fine. We can send these 2 out, or we can maybe send Walter with Jonas or Laura, one of the 2 of them, so that, you know, we don't have both the parents out at the same time, which might then mean that they can sort of control the kids a little better and prevent them from running off on their own. Looks like the small petrol station has some stuff. Although they're pretty good when they run off on their own. Take that. And that. Do we want the 1 piece of rubber? I don't think we want it over anything that we've got here particularly. Maybe the light bulb, actually. Because we've got 6 light bulbs already. So we don't really need a 7th. That's good. Confirm. Alright, excellent. Right, well, the kids are on their way back, and I think that is probably enough for now. We'll plan our next expedition next time, and we'll send one of the two parents out with the newly loyal Walter to explore the wastelands and to find many, many things, hopefully hinges and rope primarily, so that we can upgrade the crafting station and actually start building some more cool stuff. And we will also be painting the shelter and generally improving the living conditions for our expanding group of survivors here. But until then, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I have been Weird Wizard, and I will see you later. This is exciting! The village elder greets you.
Welcome to Spawn Point Village, the market leader in the adventurer generation business. I know I look a lot like a lady, but I can assure you, from my voice, I'm clearly a man. And so we'll just move on and no more will be said on the matter, alright? I'm glad to see that you got here in one piece. There's been something wrong with the summoning circle lately. One young man came out horribly disfigured,